It is my entire livelihood. I've been around this stuff since I was literally born. From when I was a kid, my parents told me that I knew how to tighten and loosen bolts before I could talk. So it's pretty much my entire livelihood. It's what pays the bills, it's what I enjoy, and anything from metalwork, wiring, fabrication, do a lot of Chevrolet C10 trucks, but we do more than just that. This is the shop. Kind of show y'all guys some projects that are going on right now. We got a 70 Monte Carlo for a customer. Did a custom firewall on, fully powder coated the chassis, QA1 suspension, coilovers. Back here we have a C10 that we did custom firewall panels on, doing all the metal work. It's getting a LT4 supercharged motor, getting full GSI suspension, front rear coilover setup. It'll be a pretty sweet ride when it's done. Made all these firewall panels just custom in-house. Started with the CNC router, making our own bucks, sandwich, a piece of 18 gauge steel in there, and then we use our Baileigh power hammer to make them. Just a flat upper die and basically just trace around it, and it kept the panel a lot flatter, smoother. This thing, it pretty much can do all sorts of things. We have the English wheel attachment and stuff for it as well. We mainly do lots of firewall panels and stuff with it. We use it more as like a pull max style hammer, but it's capable of doing all sorts of stuff we need it to do. It was pinstripe by Scratch, full custom pinstripe by him. So yeah, it looks good. Needed a basically a dimple for the windshield wiper seal. It's an oddball size. We tried all of our dimple dies, even looked some up. They didn't offer the size we needed. So we had to get a little creative, and we actually took the backside of a socket and used the bevel edge on that. Got a piece of exhaust tubing, kind of put the two together and ran a bolt and nut through there and just kind of, you know, flared it ourselves. Just using tools around the shop to make stuff as we go. My dad used to race dirt cars and always grew up around race cars. My parents, they moved here when I was about 10 years old. When I was about 15, I built my own shop separate from my dad's shop. It kind of just started out as a hobby. Used to do drag bike stuff and started slowly doing customer stuff. And just as the time needed, added on to the shop, and it's been added on about, 3 times now. It's looking like it's time for number 4. What we got here is a 87 R10, actually building it for a good buddy of mine. He's our painter. Stock chassis with GSI air ride suspension. It's got the body drop on it. We've had to raise the floor of the cab up to help clear the exhaust. We're working on the transmission tunnel now. Curry Ford 9-inch under it. We made all the brackets and everything to hold the compressors, the airlift management, did all the plumbing, the brake lines. Under the hood, we have a LS3 6.2 liter. Everything's been powder coated and or painted. The truck's going to get painted a brown off of like a later model Toyota. I'm gonna also do the same custom firewall panels like y'all saw on the gold truck. The wheel wells were actually done by a buddy of ours, Josh Hart at Hart Fab. He already has the templates to make them. Figured it was just more beneficial to get a set from him, and then we'll kind of tie everything else into his pattern, if you will, help save some time and cost there. As far as metal shaping background goes, it leads back to the dirt car stuff. They tear their stuff up every single night. So as a kid, just kind of taking a hammer, straightening out dents, and just kind of learning how metal moves and how it works, and learn to weld messing with the race cars. And that's kind of where it all originated from. He was just kind of teaching me the ways that he knew, just to give me something to do. He didn't force it upon me, and I think that's one of the main reasons why I like doing it. And that's kind of what I do with my own sons, and hopefully they'll want to pick up on it. You know, they come to the shop, they love playing with body hammers, they love playing with the bead rollers. I'm so afraid that they're gonna smash their finger one day. You know, they enjoy it, so I think they'll pick up on it. This is our Baileigh shrinker stretcher. It gets us out of a bind a lot of times. I love it. It's nice, small, doesn't really take up a lot of real estate. Super handy for whether we're trying to bend a channel, whether we're straightening a panel we made. It's just a good universal tool. We also have the Baileigh just hand shear, super small, compact, bolts right to the table. Thing cuts metal like butter. It's awesome. The Baileigh hydraulic press, use it a lot to do like if we're doing stamping type stuff on material, punching holes. It works really good for pushing out like bushings and stuff on control arms. So we use it for a little bit more than what it's intended to, but the ram is so much faster than your traditional H-frame, you know, hydraulic press. So anytime we can use it, as long as it fits in the throat, we go for it. All my Baileigh tools, they've been really good to us. They help speed stuff up. They're a huge upgrade. Just the function of them is a lot faster, more production style. And you know, it's just newer, it's smoother, kind of like with anything else, like technology. The newer stuff just, it works better.
Well, what's your favorite Baileigh tool?
Honestly, it's the power hammer, just because it's so big and loud, and it moves metal around like you wouldn't believe. Basically, in here is where we keep a lot of the smaller metalworking tools. We have our Baileigh bead roller here, which I absolutely love. I love the throat and depth on it. We can fit very large panels in there, whereas your other bead rollers, you're limited to more just super small flat panels for doing artwork. Nothing really structural you can fit in there. We also have the Baileigh planishing hammer. We also have the Baileigh shear, but we have a lot of old school stuff that just kind of got us by over the years, helped us make money, make parts to be able to buy the newer products. So we have just a old school 8-foot brake. It came out of a guy that used to make light fixtures, just an old retired guy. We were able to snag it up. Horizontal and vertical band saws. Slip roller, and that was our very first stomp shear. I'm pretty sure half of this stuff I'm showing you is older than me, but it still works good to this day, still helps us make money, and you know, it's kind of what got us started. So no matter how much new stuff we get and how big we get, we're still gonna hang on to the stuff that kind of got us where we are today. The Baileigh fabrication page, some of the cool stuff that you wouldn't really see on the normal day, they kind of bring it to the spotlight, and it kind of helps the industry grow, because you can see what the next guy is doing that you wouldn't normally necessarily see. He might have a faster or cooler way of doing something, or again, if you don't have the proper tool to do something you need done, you might learn what, you know, somebody else did with just some basic tools, and you know, it's huge on helping everything just kind of grow together. They offer different lines. They offer a cheaper line if you're just starting out and needing something, or they offer full professional everyday use. Go to one store and have that wide selection of tooling to be able to get, and not only on the metal fabrication side, but the woodworking side. Pretty much anything that you need, they're gonna have it. So it's awesome to have that, whereas most other companies, it's strictly all metal, it's all wood, it's, hey, we're only offer these giant products that you can't afford, or hey, we only offer this cheap stuff and you gotta mix and match. So it's just really cool to be able to go to one location and get everything you need. This is basically the shop truck that we've built. It was actually my high school truck. Obviously it didn't look like this in high school. It's got all bead roll panels. We use the Baileigh bead roller to do all the inner panels you see in the bed. Kind of show you up under the hood real quick of some of the metalworking stuff we've done. Basically was able to make all the panels you see here: aluminum radiator cover, aluminum core support filler panels, handmade steel inner fenders. It's got a LS 6-liter in it that we built for it. It's just a fun little shop truck on air ride that we like to play around with. I hope part of the legacy that I pass down is that I make my kids proud of what I achieved. I hope I'm leaving them, a successful business that if, hey, they want to step in and run one day, here it is. If not, hey, that's up to them. But yeah, hopefully I can pass it down to them.